It's now time for a very important conversation on digital boundaries and a term I'm hearing for the first time, comparisonitis. I hope I got it right. I don't know. I guess to give us all the lowdown. But Dr. Annie Gazy, who is a clinical hypnotherapist and an addictive behavior specialist. Amazing. Doc, welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Good morning.
Your new home. Yeah.
I know.
Amazing. How have you been?
Not bad at all. It's been a good month so far, so thanks for asking.
We are grateful to God.
Yeah.
I like your dress, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice.
I'm trying, thank you. I'm trying to be very, very, very local and traditional. So
love it.
Now, I know it's just the
Yeah. Yesterday we had our own
Oh,
thing.
did you?
Yeah.
I missed
We
that.
had our own fugu
Did you?
party in the studio.
I have to have one of those for you.
Doug, I think I was going to start with the digital, but let's start with comparisonitis because it sounds like a very catchy
I
word.
know. It's like this glam word, right? Okay, if we just break it down, because it's a mouthful, isn't it? Comparisonitis. Comparisons, comparing, which is a common word that we all know about, comparing. And for years and years, we all know that the human nature, we are very territorial. We like to compare. We like things to be a certain way. But the past 2 decades, when social media and everything became big, now it's becoming addictive. Or should I say becoming, or it is addictive. And we're comparing more. We're comparing ourselves. We're comparing our achievements. We're comparing our jobs. We're comparing our likes and comments on Facebook. So I'm just going to start a fight with you and Jude this morning, right? Is that okay? To answer
fine.
your question.
That is fine.
So let's say you're both doing the same. I'll say the same role with the host of this morning show. But then maybe Eno will just go and think, we're doing the same job. How come I put the same post there and he has got like 500 likes and I've got 200? This is not fair. So you keep going back and forth, checking why. Why? Well, let me look at my dress. Let me look at my face. I look prettier than him. What is going on here? And then maybe Jude will also think, whoa, I'm really doing well now. Look, I was with Eno at the same time. But look at my likes, look at hers. Oh, then you start comparing the comments. Oh, maybe I didn't get lots of likes, but at least my comments are nice. They're saying I'm pretty, my makeup is good. I look short, I look tall, I look this, I look that. Then he would also. So that's that. So even though you're comparing, normally what comparing is supposed to do is to motivate us, encourage us. Where am I now? Or maybe my colleague or my friends or whatever, they're doing so well. Maybe that would push me, that would motivate me. But now it's turned into this ugly thing where we're comparing and we're damaging ourselves. That's where the mental health comes in. Right. So we get anxious about the fact that I posted that 24 hours ago and I've only got 3 likes. Oh, why? Or why did that person insult me? And you can see now, with lots of issues going on in our country, people are taking to social media to insult, to really bash, the fight is not even physical anymore.
No,
or
it's
meeting the person.
on social media.
It's on social media. If I want to fight you, all I have to do is to get into your account and start misbehaving, or into my account and start saying people should tag you in and all that, just for you to know. So that's where it's become a thing with the itis. It's becoming a disorder. And even though it's not medically there, but it's a psychological and social thing at the moment.
So what do we mean also by digital boundaries?
Digital boundaries is a bit about what I was just saying about what are we doing about this social media thing? That even if our president offend us or our boss offend us, we take them to social media, and that is where we really fight. That is where we really get them. And we know that by going there, we really do get them because we invite everybody into it. And something that maybe I could have gone to my colleague or come to you and say, oh, Eno, you know what, yesterday what you did was so wrong. Looking at your behavior, should I say attacking your behavior or being proactive and also, coming to you and then discussing it. Instead of doing that, I'll go to my bed in the night and say, I can't believe that Eno or that woman on the morning show did this to me and look at what has happened. It's interesting I'm saying this because once upon a time, something like this happened to me at a workplace, not to me, but I found it very uncomfortable because somebody was underperforming in her role. And their manager was actually put them through a review and all of that and managing the situation.
Right.
The next thing is they went on LinkedIn and then put all of that there and asking people, so what should I do about this? How should I treat this person? What should I do about my boss? So people kept on commenting until the boss, somebody actually took a caption of it, like photo, whatever, and then send it. And then I was in a meeting and we had to discuss that look at how far things have gone, which is very ugly. If you think that, so that's the digital bit, that now instead of coming to people, and I had somebody had booked that they were going on leave, then they were off sick. Then the next thing, the manager was going on their Facebook and all that and said, look at this. I've seen this guy in Kenya on holiday. I mean, do you have to go that far? I find it uncomfortable, but maybe that's just me. But I think it's become a thing and it causes anxiety, because then that becomes a management thing at work, that your private life is coming into your professional life,
right?
And for me, I see that as very dangerous. Not for me, generally, psychologically and everything, it's wrong. Where does the boundaries come in? Where do we draw the line that I finished work at 5? Why are you still following me? I found something very horrifying quite recently when I didn't know about WhatsApp status. I know you two are going to laugh, right? I didn't know about that. So it was my sister, I hope she's watching me, that introduced me to, and it took me forever to be able to do it. So when I started doing it, and then I noticed something very strange. Somebody, a superior of mine, I realized that every time I went to check, they were the first who had gone in to check on my status. So I started putting something funny that would make them say something or whatever. Then I realized that in meetings and that they would talk about it. I said, wow, these are some of the things. So you see, that's where the boundaries is. You're my boss. Why are you coming into my private life? Because I deliberately say these things there just to see who would comment. But then this person would pass a comment or something in a meeting, and I thought, it is true, it is you. So it's really you coming there. So I had to block the person. But what if you don't know? What if you don't know who is doing that? What if this jealousy, enviness, competitive life comparisons gets out of hand to the extent that you end up even damaging yourself? Because I'm so into, I need to get what Eno has got. She's got like 50K people following her. I don't get this. I'm smarter than her. I'm prettier than her. I'm this and that. This is a hypothetical. Don't take it personal. Oh, why is, Jude doing ABC? But what we don't know is maybe Jude or Eno, you're actually maybe spending all night working on your social media, working on your career, doing other things behind the scenes that we don't see. So if I don't think that deep into the fact that you're investing so much into yourself, that is where you are, and all I see is what is on social media, the shoes you're wearing or the bag or the people, the personalities that you are with, then I'm so jealous. What tends to happen is I'm hurting myself because maybe I'm not investing that much. Come 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I'm in bed or I'm partying and all that. But I'm not investing. Am I making sense?
Yes, you are. So what happens psychologically when you keep comparing yourselves to someone on social media who you probably don't even know, or even if you do know the person?
Yeah.
I mean, to what end?
What tends to happen is the initial stage will be you having sleepless night because I'm monitoring you. So definitely, I'm monitoring you. So that alone is stressful. So number one is you're causing yourself stress and sleep deprivation. Then the anxiety sets in. So come tomorrow or next week, Eno and Jude, how is their Facebook going to look like? How is their Instagram going to look like? What photo? Who are they going to interview next? Is it going to be bigger than who I've interviewed so far? So the anxiety sets in. Then you're not sleeping. So instead of me focusing on how I can progress, I'm so busy focusing on you two that I'm not doing much for myself. So what tends to happen is maybe depression will set in because I'm so busy monitoring you that maybe I'm still on 1,000 followers. I'm just saying, and you two are on 50 or 100,000. But I'm so busy. What can I do to stop them or to reduce them or whatever, that I'm not working on what I need to work on? So I get into depression. Then I can't focus on my work because I'm so bitter about your progress that I'm not doing much. So then that's where the mental health starts. Then it affects your work because you're so jealous of how maybe how we have the same manager, line manager or producer. And it's like, oh, I didn't like the way my producer spoke to me today. But did you see, she was really nice to Eno this morning. How come she wasn't nice to me? So you start picking every little thing that don't matter. And maybe the producer just came, did what they had to do, and they've gone home. And they're not even thinking about you or whatever. They've moved on. But because you're so bitter, you start looking at every little detail, like crossing every T, every I, whatever, and it affects you. And that is where the mental health start developing, and it gets worse. And if, I know when I come here, I talk about the brain a lot, and I like highlighting two, the most common ones, which is the reward, which is the dopamine. So the more you do that, you're not rewarding yourself. You're not telling yourself you're good enough. Because when you're so busy thinking that I'm not good, or others are good, or I'm too good and others are not good, there is no reward in that. So that becomes a problem for your brain. And also when you're not happy, we're talking about the happy brain also not functioning properly. That's the serotonin not working properly. And so happiness is gone, everything is gone. Then you sink into a bubble that you shouldn't.
What do you have to say to some people who feel like they do that to spur them on? Right, they love the healthy competition it comes with. So, for example, I wake up in the morning, I check what some Jack Taper, right? So it's like, or I check what somebody has posted in my same field, to also just give me that edge to be competitive. What's your response to that?
I like what you've asked, because the thing is that we are all, what do we call ourselves, social animals or something. It's important to have that. That's why I always encourage people to have a role model. It could be a blind role model, somebody that doesn't even know that they're your role model, somebody you look up to in our careers. Somebody's done it before. What we are all doing here today, somebody's already done it, and there are people who've done it better, and I've got track record, and we know, like you're saying, and they've been in the industry for so long. Absolutely. And they are so it's good to look up to somebody. It's good to compare as well and say, oh, maybe another television station or whatever, how they do it, how maybe even their setting and everything. Because as we move on in life, we're learning from psychology about the colors in a room, how they can even draw crowd, the seating, the way you sit, the way you talk to people, your tone, everything. We're learning every day. So it's very important for you to also learn that. But it's where they say, a layperson will say, it's too much of everything is bad. You have to be mindful that, why am I doing this? I'm doing it because I'm learning. I'm doing it because I want to do it better. Because I want to better myself, because I want to get somewhere with my life. But it becomes a problem when that habit turns to something ugly, where now you start tearing the person down. Like, oh, look at their shoes, look at their bag. Oh, I saw that dress last week and they're still wearing it today. So in that, Jude, what are you learning from really trying to pick on somebody and bring them down and tear whatever they're doing? Or look at that station, it's so dark, it's so gloomy. Even if you say it's dark, that could be a positive dark. So you're seeing that darkness is not causing attraction for you or for viewers. So on my show, I'll make sure that there is light, so that others can see, because you're learning from other people's mistakes, things that are not so good. But when you're not learning and you're actually making it into something really unpleasant, just because like I use the example, let's say this bottle of water. Oh my God, I don't like the size. I don't like this. I don't like that. Okay, if you feel that this size is too big, what can you do about it that can improve? Because I like the little mini ones. Because when my guests come, I give them that. Sometimes this bottle is just what I said. Yeah, because you won't waste it for me. And people would just say, oh, like British people are stingy and all that. I said, that's not the point. It's to do with the fact that sometimes you give this bottle, somebody will sip twice and just leave it and throw it away. But if I give you the little bottle and you want more, you can ask for more. I have more to give you. So it's about this bottle. I have realized that it's excellent. I'm not condemning it, but then if I give it to my guests because they're going to waste it, I'll buy smaller bottles so that at least, so I'm learning from that. So everything is about looking at what is the positive in. Okay, my friend, he only came on Facebook or TikTok yesterday and they've got like 100 followers already. How did they do that? What is their content? What exactly are they saying? Or what are they doing? Maybe I can contact them, maybe not. But let me just study what they do. Maybe they are there every day or every other day, or maybe their tone, the colors they are using, maybe whatever is sharp, so I have to do that. Why do I like Channel One? Because of how they speak, because of how they behave, because of professionalism. So you learn instead of looking at tearing it down. And that is what most times cause the problem, because bitterness and it becomes addictive basically.
Why do the holidays, or well, now we're coming to the month of love, why do these events and occasions tend to intensify this kind of situation?
It does, especially February is the highest because it's the love month. That is, well done, that is the highest. So we're in the highest comparison time where people develop that more, or it highlights that actually I do have a problem, or people have a problem, because society highlights things, and it's always Valentine's. So I've just posted this with love heart or whatever. Who's going to comment on this? How many people are going to show that they love me? And people also stir it up by really saying that, oh, you know what, everybody likes me, and people stand at places where they can't even afford just to take photos, just to show off. So we get into it. And even subconsciously, you just go on your phone and say, oh, okay. You wouldn't say anything, but in your head, you're thinking, I can take a better picture than this. I can do this. I can get more likes. I can get all of that. I know people who thrive on that. And sometimes I don't say anything to them, but I just nod my head and say, at your age, why are you so much into likes and comments? For me, it's about the message being out there. And several times have I tried on my social media to actually take where you can like, but I'm not very good with technology, because I just want an information out there. And as long as somebody is reading or seeing, I'm happy.
You're happy.
But for some people, it's about, oh
likes,
my God, it's about
comments.
likes. Oh, those people didn't like it. And for a month like this, it goes to show that to them, to most people, oh my God, that person is so popular. Oh, people really like that person. This person is doing so well and all that. As a professional, things like that help you to see out there whether the message you're giving, like the two of you, is out there and people are watching, people are listening, and that. So that's brilliant. But when an individual starts really getting into it and it's getting out of hand. So February is the highlight. Let's watch. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's been doing it. It'll be good to just hear somebody who's been out there doing it. We do it without realizing, but actually it's an addiction. So you've got your specialist sitting here telling you that you are addicted to your likes and your comments.
And it's so true, right? If you see the growing trend of what has come to be known as Instagram models and influencers who sometimes create a false sense of narrative, right? So for example, they'll post a video of a boyfriend who is not seen, who has bought, for example, wigs, or has bought a plane for them, right? And it creates some kind of pressure.
It does.
On younger,
It does.
So it's important you're talking about this. How do we, is the responsibility solely on yourself, or there's a role society plays, right? And even to an extent, policy handlers, right? You have the NCC. Are they mandated to, let's say, push a narrative about the values that we ought to carry, so as we are not really pressured into some of these things, especially for young people?
Definitely, 100%. And what you said about the youth as well, because it's right. Somebody will post a private jet, and because of that, people are just refusing to do the daily job that we do.
Exactly.
That get up in the morning, go to work, and that they think that quick, fast money, that it doesn't matter what. Hence, in some parts of our countries or our continent, there's so much kidnapping and this, that,
scam and all of that.
Scam and all of that, because I've seen somebody that I went to school with that I was smarter than now has got this big house and this and that. Why am I working, doing all these jobs, and I can't even afford anything? So it's all of our duties, plus the bodies, who have been assigned to. And I think it's education in schools, institutions as well. And one thing that I've noticed about our community, should I say our Ghanaian community a lot, is the other day I was even telling my boy at home that when you are cleaning and that, can you not bring your phone because it's annoying me? We have the phone all the time. We don't know where to draw the line that I'm actually at work. I'm actually doing a piece of whatever, or I'm in school. It's like, we need to be able to say to people, when you're doing this, unless it's an emergency, can you not touch your phone? Can you live without it? Can you let your family know that if it's not emergency, I'm not going to answer the call for the next 3 hours or 4 hours because you've got your lunch break, you've got this, you've got that. because it gets so irritating, it gets so annoying. And that is where you see these things, because if you're on all the time, you're tempted to feel that, look at me sitting here with my boss telling me to do all of this, and look at this person, you know, having a good time somewhere, you know, on a boat or a yacht or whatever it is.
Supposedly unemployed as well.
Thank you. You know, I saw, it's funny, and may that person forgive me if they're watching or whatever. There's somebody that I knew years ago, and they were using drugs, and I was supporting them. And eventually they stopped. But I knew that they had never been to university. I knew that they had been unemployed for a while. I knew that they lost everything, their home and everything, because of that. Then they actually decided to request friendship on Facebook. So I looked at it. So I said, let me look at their profile. I was shocked. The universities and the qualifications and experience that they had put there. I just opened my mouth. I said, what is going on here? You are not who you say you are. And that really annoyed me, because there was a time that they actually got a girlfriend through that. You know, and
there's so many stories to share. I mean, I even have personal ones. Like, there's a mega church in Ghana where, you know, all of these things are playing out in real time, right?
Yeah.
Some of them became public, some of them under the carpet. So I think we should continue the conversation. You know, unfortunately, time is not on our side.
That's fine.
But there's so much we need to talk about.
Yeah.
It should be like a whole series, right? Probably get some sponsors on to push this, because not everything you see is real. There's a lot of superficiality.
Lots.
Doc,
and it's damaging our society.
Yeah, we are grateful for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the work that you do. You know that it's a sacrifice.
Thank you very much for having me.
To take a quick break.